I'm driving now, so I can't read all your message, but you asked me a question, so I'm gonna give you an answer based on what I read. You asked why marry. Everybody's different, so I can't speak to the world, but based on my own understanding, I'll explain it. First off, before I decided to marry this one, I believe in polygyny. I believe you can have more than one wife, but as far as this one's concerned, she's very significant because she's the kinswoman, my kinswoman, and she's from the land of my forefathers. She's within the region of where my mom and my dad, aunts, my mom, my uncles, my aunts, my grandparents, my great-grandfather grew, and she's been very close to my family for the last 7 years. So I chose, because of her, that I'm gonna stick with monogamy, and that's what I'm gonna do. And that's because her significance for me, being a kinswoman, is enough for me to say that risk is not an option, and heartache is not an option. Whether she would eventually agree with what I believe or not, that's irrelevant. I'm just not going to risk it with her. Everybody that I've talked to before knew ahead of time. Some of them reneged, and some of them didn't get a chance to renege. I just chose to cut them off. Some I was courting and explained my life was complicated at the moment, and they chose to be with other men, sleep with other men, do whatever they wanted to do, and that's fine. For me, being married is the chance to be like Yah. Yah created woman for the pleasure of man. In some theses, it depends on who you talk to, but he also created her to have the same exact connection that we have with him on earth, rather than our relationship with him on heaven. Therefore, her design, her manifestation and abilities on the physical plane far exceed our ability to perceive on the physical plane. We're able to manifest and use certain skills and abilities on a spiritual level as well as a physical level, but her ability to operate on this earth and manifest herself, her abilities to do things skill-wise and ability to think far exceeds that of man. So for me, I want somebody like that every day. I want to see that same exact being. And the more they learn me, the more they know me, the better they hone their skills. I want to be able to do what I want Yah to do for me. I am Yah's creation. Everybody can play games if they want to, but they want to be spoiled by Yah. They want to be pampered by Yah. They want to be dealt with on a level that that proves that they're Yah's treasured possession. I want that for other people too. It would be nice to say I can just adopt kids and do that, but it's also another level where I'll be able to do that with my wife. I love the idea of watching somebody sleep every single night and wake up early to watch them sleep. I like the thesis of being able to buy things for her and spoil her to rotten. I like the thesis of writing poems every single day to my wife and massaging her and rubbing her feet and, hell, kissing her feet. People don't understand it. I don't care on that level, but generally, I love the ideal of being able to pamper somebody, and it's a spiritual and a mental thing for me. I don't really focus on self gratitude until you piss me off to the point where I become nafash. I become flesh focused. Then I start to do certain things. That has happened at my work. That has happened in my art. That's happened to me spiritually. In many cases, I've been defeated, but I believe Yah has done greatness in manifesting the woman that He manifested. I mean, even when she was hurt, she's maintained mental and verbal control. And when she's happy, she makes sure that she pours it out for everybody else to see and to feel. She's not selfish, and she's not self-centered. She's not self-focused. She's skillful. She's able to work with her hands, and she's able to be patient enough to work with her mind, despite not liking to do certain things. She wants to be a doctor, and that means she'll be able to use her abilities to take care of the people. And if she sees me doing this, she's going to be upset with me, because she likes to make sure that I'm okay and that I'm taken care of. She's very good with that, actually. She's very good with making sure that I'm alright. And I'm not talking about needs of financial crap, because I could care less about finances. I tell people all the time, and I mean it, it's probably because I have the mom that I have, but I can spend my whole entire life doing things and never seeing a red cent. It's not until you frustrate me that I look at the monetary, physical things of anything that I do. And the one thing that I want to do is boost her up and build her up and love on her. And she allows me to do it. And even when she didn't understand it, when she finally understood it, she opened up to me heavily. And the reason why is because you got to make sure people's legit. And unfortunately, the reason why we get so hurt, the reason why we get frustrated, the reason why we don't believe in certain things is because either one, we never seen anybody or anything legit, or two, we're not patient enough to see if things are real. And I'm blessed. Like, I'm blessed. Even when I made bad choices, people saw me in my bad choices and knew sincerely when I was wrong, that they were able to know that I sincerely realized it after the fact, and I was willing to fix it. And they saw me in my good, and they saw me in my joyful spirit and trying to make things work for right. And I mean, she was one of those people. I'm thankful. Marriage to me is joy. Marriage is the ability to have that one thing in the world and be able to express yourself through it over and over again for only purpose of having joy. The only time that I'll get frustrated with her is if I'm trying to do the best that I can to make sure that I keep her sound and secure and happy and joyful and protected, and she goes the other way. But the creator of all things, the source of life, El Elyon, he's like that too. I mean, when he wants us to have the best and we go to the wrong direction, he tries to block us. And when we keep going that wrong direction, he gets angry. And it makes sense, because we are our own worst enemy. That relationship that he has with us in the spiritual, he wanted us to basically understand. That's why he gave us the ability to procreate, for one. But he also gave us the same abilities to take care of other people, to manifest life into other people. And it just so happens that before I go out into the world to manifest life into other people, I have the ability and the option to manifest it in my wife. And that is a wonderful and a beautiful thing for me. Everybody else, I mean, they can go to hell as far as whether or not they can see the significance of it, or they have a problem with who I married or whatever or whatnot. And believe it or not, I've given lots of people chances, and lots of people saw the genuine me, and they rejected it. And a lot of them put themselves in worse states than they were in before, or they cheated, or they lied, or they were deceptive, or because they were impatient, they made fast decisions in other areas in life. And she accepted me, and she's learning me. And that's what I need. I don't need her to lie to me. I don't need her to give me anything, but just accept me loving and taking care of her. And that's what's happening. And if that can happen till the day I die, that's great, because I don't get joy as much as I used to by working for anybody. I don't get joy as much as I used to get taking care of a lot of other people I used to take care of, because when it's not yours, I'm starting to see it's just not the same thing. And it's not the same thing because people set boundaries and rules and regulations about how you cherish them and how you build them up. And it leaves me empty. It leaves me feeling worthless and useless. And with her, I don't feel like that. And if she can stand my poetry every single morning and my uplifting every single day, and my joy to be able to talk to her and uplift her and tickle her and kiss on her and hug her and begging to pamper her and spoil the living crap out of her. Like, if she could handle that, I'll be the best man in the world. I don't need her to cook for me. I don't need her to clean for me. I don't need her to pay bills. I don't need her to buy anything for me. I don't need her to work, but she's going to work because she wants to work. Basically, like giving my treasure to somebody else. But I'll get over it. Dude, with the gift of a wife for me personally, man, I don't need a paycheck. I don't need a freaking car. I don't need anything but to be able to express myself through my wife, through that which y'all set forth for me. And I'm cool with that. I wish I could give that blessing to every single person on this earth. I wish I could love on every single person on this earth. But it's not that simple, because most abilities to give to other people and to love other people is restricted on basis of how they were taught and how they were trained. So I needed somebody who went through some things, who went through a lot of things, and is humbled by those things and those experiences, so that when she finally has, she's able to express herself and be able to do the right thing with what she has. And she's that person. She's not been tainted by other people. In America, it's way harder to come by somebody like that. But then again, it's way harder to be that kind of man also, that can do all those things or is willing to do all those things. By nature, a capitalistic society, Babylonian, Roman, Egyptian-based, or Persian-based society teaches you self-indulgence, self-focus, and self-lust and impurity. And it's very hard not to do that. So if you can come out of that and you can meet somebody like the one I met, then you're perfect. But I got lucky, you know. I got the opportunity to have that, and I didn't deserve it. I hope I answered your question.